So today we're going to talk about don't buy a new vehicle unless you absolutely need to buy a new vehicle. And the reason why I say this is, the new Toyota Tacoma came out and it has, some really cool features. It has a 8-speed transmission, a lot more torque, low-end torque, which the old Tacoma did not have. It just has a lot of features, better seats. So there are a lot of good things about the new Tacoma, but just like any vehicle, if you don't have a need for it, then don't buy it. I just don't want to see people going in debt just so they can get a little bit of a better features than what they already have, just because it's a little bit better. And I agree, the new Tacoma does have a lot of, features all around that are better, but do you need it? That's the question. If you have high mileage on your current truck, then yes, you would need it, and we're talking like anywhere from 100,000 to 150,000 is like the mileage mark area where you should probably start looking for a new truck or, an off-road vehicle. You start getting near the 150,000 mile mark and things start breaking down that costs more and more every single time. So just be a little wary of the 150,000 mark. But below that, like I said, my truck, until I hit 150, maybe 140,000 mark, because I'm a little rough on them, then I'm not going to be looking for a new truck until I get near that mark. So it's just like this for the Wrangler and all the other off-road vehicles out there. Just because something's a little better, don't buy it. And this all comes down to back in, I want to say 1930, 1920, Ford Model T came out, and Ford's hopes were, you're going to buy this one car and we'll sell you parts, but you're going to live in this one car for the rest of your life. And then GM came out, and GM was the competition. They started building a bunch of cars, and then all of a sudden, GM, Ford, they couldn't sell any more cars because people who had cars were set. They were all, happy. They got their car. They're all done. So General Motors did something that was genius for marketing, bad for consumers. They said, we can make cars with different colors and with a little bit of a different trim. That way, people, the consumer, would say, oh, well, that's a brand new car. It's got cool colors, got a little bit of a fancier, trim on it. Let's buy it. So it's amazing how that one change changed the entire auto industry. It's pretty neat that, they can do that one little marketing campaign idea. And of course, everybody else picked up on it. Everybody makes the little tiny changes to make you buy, the next latest and greatest item. Even iPhone does it. If you look at the iPhones, they have a little bit of a different look, tiny bit of a different camera, a couple little features, just to make you want to buy the latest one. And of course, it's also the aesthetics of people say, oh, what version of iPhone do you have? And I got the iPhone X, which is the iPhone 10, and I don't even know what version they have now, but just don't worry about other people thinking you don't have the latest and greatest. That's not what the world's about. The world's about enjoying life and not being in debt. So if your truck does exactly what you need it to do, you can go off-roading, then don't buy another truck. My truck, it has 32-inch tires, and I don't want to put bigger tires on it because I haul an RV. And because I haul an RV, I can't really put monster tires on, because the bigger your tire goes, the more payload you lose, and the less you can haul with your truck. So that's why my Toyota Tacoma has 32-inch tires. It's only 1 inch bigger than the factory, and I can haul, a lot of stuff with it. I can do a lot of stuff with it, and I can still go off-roading. And, this is just my opinion on it, but if I went to a 35, 36, 38-inch tire, the big tires, your challenge gets kind of taken away from you a little bit when you start getting into those bigger tires. So a 32, 33-inch tire, you keep a lot of challenge. It makes that off-road course very challenging, and the challenge is the exciting part. So I know I'm, getting off subject a little bit, from we're telling you don't buy the new trucks just because they're, prettier or whatever. But that's kind of all my mission is. Don't buy a new truck. It looks pretty. Buy it because you need it. And in my case, my truck does everything I need. It has 32-inch tires, can haul my RV, does everything. So that's the message here. And I know this is kind of conflicting with a lot of places saying, oh, we need to look at the greatest stuff. And yeah, we still need to look at the greatest stuff because when we do need a new truck later on down the road, I want as much information as possible so I can make a very informed decision. I may not buy a Toyota Tacoma next round. We don't know yet. I may buy a Ranger. I may buy something else. It just depends on what features and what needs I have at that time. When I bought the Tacoma this time, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack in the comments on this, but I almost bought a Ford Ranger. And the reason why is the CV axles are really good angle. Everything was really good on the truck. The kids just didn't like the back seat as much. So that was my deciding point. Me Tacoma, me Ranger. It was neck and neck. So anyway, like I said, if you don't need a new truck, don't buy a new truck. But keep informed on all the cool, changes and everything and the reviews and see how things are holding up. So that's it for this episode. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe and we'll see you next episode.